Good evening, viewers, and you're welcome to the program Stock and Shares. Interestingly, the week ended, and that is talking about 17th of September 2021, did close positive. But it did close positive because of the 0.08% appreciation that the market posted on that particular trading day. And interestingly, at the end of the market today, we can also confirm to you that the exact point by which the market closed on the last trading day of the week is the direction south that the market also closed today. The market did close going down by 0.08%. But that is not all that we'll be sharing with you on the program, because interestingly, we'll be sharing with you the companies that helped in terms of performances that helped to push the index up in closing positive in the week under review. And we'll be then icing it with how the market did close at the end of trading today. But let's also quickly mention that in the course of the program this evening, we'll be hoping that more first-time viewers will also join in helping to move the frontier of the program forward. And what is that we mean by this? The reason that this program is being on air in the last 15 years is largely because of the input that comes in from our viewers. So you can use the SMS platform or use the email platform. And what we do with this is basically to aggregate them, and that helps us to prepare for a better program going forward. So for our first-time viewers or for viewers who have not taken advantage of this platform, we will be encouraged if you also get us, if you give us feedbacks. But still talking about other areas of presentation on the program this evening, what we'll be sharing with you is also part 2 of what we did last week. And talking about part 2, if you remember last week, the main discussion centered around forecast and forecast for the year ending 31st of December 2021. Because the market itself is largely driven by information, and the earlier the information also comes your way, without necessarily being an insider information, the better for our market. So we'll be sharing with you a number of non-insurance based, because I haven't done insurance companies last week. We also thought it's important that we look at other areas of the market. So we'll be sharing with you other areas of the market in terms of how the year 2021 will be closing, and taking it from the position of the profit that they will also be bringing on the table. That itself will not mean that we'll be leaving out our regulars. And talking about our regulars on the program this evening, we'll be looking at 2 banks talking about corporate results, and we'll be leaving you to make judgment as to where you think your money should be in. And still talking about our regulars, we'll be sharing with you Company of the Week, Notice Board, and many more, as well as market development. But if you think that because you've heard the summary, you will not have any need to be part of this program, we can also confirm to you that you'll be more than 350% not correct. So because we know that what we're offering you is one that will add value, we'll just be urging you, relax, spend the next 60 minutes with us, and thereafter we can then talk. Once again, you're welcome to the program, and permit us to take the first break.
In today's fast-paced, high-stakes, make-or-break world, you need every edge you can get to help your business succeed. That is why we've designed the new and improved Sterling Pro. We've made it even more flexible to adapt to your enterprise, no matter the size. And we've also upgraded the security to make your business transactions more secure. And now more than ever, you can now get even more done with one premium solution. Get the extra edge to succeed in today's competitive world with a solution that's built for your business. Visit sterling.ng/pro and let's get your business ahead.
There is a reason Africa is called the new frontier. What was once potential is now an opportunity ready to be seized. Once revered for our resources, today's wealth lies in our people. People who build the cities that shape the future. People who know an idea in one place means business in another. A generation for whom technology means there are no borders, no boundaries. We are the new lions in a brave new world, kings of the urban jungle. And there's a bank that puts the world in our pocket and the future in our hands. UBA, Africa's global bank.
You're welcome back. And if you just join us, the program is Stock and Shares. And talking about market development, let's start on the note as to how the week did end. And like we told you, the market rallied to a 0.08% appreciation on the last trading day of the week. And that basically helped the market to close 0.06% positive. Had that not happened, the market would have also closed negative. But all of this will also be presenting graphically. Because looking at the chart before you, what you then find is a situation that, unlike what we had in 2020, when the last trading day of the week closed down, in the week under review, the market did go up, just like it did in 2018 and 2019. But if you then look at the most essential ingredients in this segment, first you will find that the volume that was traded, interestingly, is also one that will be of concern for market watchers. Other than 2014 and 2012, in the last 10 years, in no other year did we find the market close with over 2 billion units of shares being traded. Interestingly, even in 2021, that is for week ended 17th of September, you also will find that the volume traded is even less than 1 billion. However, we can also confirm to you that other than 2012 and 2014, 2007, 2008, and 2009 also did close with over 2 billion shares being traded. Interestingly, 2007 it was 2.3, 2008 it was 3.1, and 2009 it was 2.22. If you then look at the second parameter, which happens to be the value that the volume also brought on the table, you will find that 2014 did cross the 20 billion naira mark. But that was not to be for 2012, because 2012 finished less than 15 billion, notwithstanding that he raked in over 2 billion in terms of number of shares traded. And then 2007, 2008 again added to the number to make it only 3 years in the last 16 years that the market has traded in excess of 20 billion naira. But in terms of value, like in terms of volume, like we told you, only 5 years. But only 2007, 2008, and 2014, just like we had in the value parameter, also finished strong in terms of day closing positive, talking about the index. So, looking at the next chart, which is a more detailed picture compared to what we've just showed you, is the fact that the market, again, basically struggling. For instance, if you look at 2021, yes, it closed positive, but you find a number of segments closing negative. And just like we saw at the end of trading today, with only 4 sectors finishing positive. But looking at the trend and talking about the index trend, what you will find is that the consumer subsector had, just like the insurance subsector, had 2 years, 2019, 2020, been positive, and by 2021, they dipped into red. But if you then look at the Lotus and the pension segment, what you will find is a situation where they had 2019 to 2021, 3 straight years of being positive. But for the oil and gas, very interesting position, because 2020 and 2021, it did close negative, but this itself was coming on the heel of what was done in 2015 to 2017, when they had 3 years of being positive, and then turning negative in 2019. But for the sector as well, that is the oil and gas subsector, if you then take it further, it had 2009 to 2014, 6 straight years of being negative. So that is basically the challenge that the market is throwing on. But before we come to the next segment, let's also quickly mention that 2021 has also brought in the delisting of Portland's paints and products. So for investors in that company, and if you had also not booked to be migrated to CAPL post-merger, and then you haven't also gotten your money, then you may also need to get in touch with the registrar so that you also be able to claim your money. But this is not the only position that you had the delisting, because if you also look at 2019, interestingly, we had the announcement that Kutix, that it will be offering 1-for-1 bonus at the end of their AGM, had indicated its willingness to acquire ArtSwitch, which happens to be a sister company, but we can confirm 2 years after, it still remains an announcement. But we'll wait and see when ArtSwitch will then become fully delisted, just like we had in 2019, Kappa and Dabato taking a full delisting from our market. In the same 2019, we can also confirm that WAPIC came in with a right issue, and that right issue was at 38 kobo, as against what happened 2 years earlier, that is talking about 2017, when Avon Crown Cap was also delisted. So just like Portland Paints and Products, if you also have investment in Avon, it may also be necessary that you get in touch with the registrar and claim your money. But then flipping the chart and looking at how all of this impacted in the number of companies that appreciated in share prices in the week. First, what you will find is that in 2021, only 21 companies appreciated in share price, as against 28 going south. However, 96 companies basically remain in an attention position. And other than 2021 and 2018, as well as 2019, that has 98 and 99 companies not recording any price gain or any price movement. Every other year in the last 12 years had been over 100 companies not recording price gain. But before we leave this segment, let's also mention that ironically, what we had in 2010 that had 71 companies going south and only 19 companies going north remains the worst in terms of performance between 2006 and 2021. But if you then look at 2015, that had 56 companies appreciating in share price, that again has turned out to be the best performing because in that year only 22 companies did drop in price. So in summary, that is the position as far as the market is concerned. But don't also forget that in the last 16 years, why 1 year has basically remained at par, which means the number of companies appreciating and the number of companies going down remain the same. We can confirm to you that 6 times we had companies going up. Why we had 6 times where we had number of companies going up being larger than the number of companies going down, and 9 times the number of companies going down being bigger than the number of companies going up. So it's also on that note that we take another break, and when we come back after the break, we'll then be looking at the specific companies, top 10 that basically helped to push the market in having to close 0.06% positive. Please stay tuned.
Introducing the Save and Win Pali promo. Just save 10,000 naira or more monthly and stand a chance to win up to 5 million naira and other exciting prizes. Download the Union mobile app to open an account or visit the nearest Union Bank branch. Union Bank, your simpler, smarter bank.
We are Africa's leading payment service provider to financial institutions, government parastatals, and other corporate bodies. Do you know that since 2003, we have been at the forefront of providing and enabling all forms of payment on behalf of our numerous customers, spanning all sectors of the economy? Do you know that we are the first operational multi-application and multi-channel electronic transaction switching and payment processing company in Nigeria? Do you know that we have been enabling Nigerians and Africans in diaspora send money back to their families? Do you know that we pioneered the USSD payment solution in Nigeria and created other innovative payment channels? That we are the award-winning agency, banking and financial inclusion driver in Nigeria with over 350 billers plus 20,000 active agents carrying our transactions worth over $1 billion naira monthly. So far, creating employment and adding to national development. That we recorded over 45 trillion naira value in transaction activity in 2019. Partner with more than 60 financial institutions with over 600 million transactions annually. Enabling donor funding for international organizations. Providing verification and payment of pensions of over 90,000 retired officers. We are second to none in payroll automation and IGRU collections, government and MDAs. Our licenses and switching capabilities speak volume. We are eTransact International PLC. We are a fintech company ready to partner with you using technology to solve all your complex business solutions, providing world-class products, services and solutions, simplifying payments, supporting the economy for national development. Bank it, switch it, corporate pay outlets, pocket money, Credo, eTransact, premier e-payment solution provider.
My family is about to have the best miyan taushe they have ever tasted. How do I know? My new Dangote seasoning cube brings out the best flavor.
The new Dangote seasoning is just perfect for my miyan kubewa. The aroma and the flavor is simply amazing.
Mesuya, why is suya too sweet like this?
Since the time I dey use am for Dangote seasoning, I dey put am for my yaji. Then it make my suya correct, kuma it dey on point. That is why I see people that they even come buy this suya all the time.
Mesuya, give me 200 naira.
Do I want you to be done pass 200 naira pa?
Introducing the new Dangote seasoning to give every meal that rich, distinct taste and flavor that your whole family will love.
To the left, and to the
The new Dangote seasoning cube is the real deal. Try it today.
Wondered how easy it would be if your bank was part of your life, sort of like an assistant, a buddy, and a plug.
Alert, you there?
Always alert, sir.
I see what you did there. Am I up to date? What was that?
Your repayment has just been done. By the way, I found a cheaper ticket for your flight.
Awesome. Schedule my run for 7:19 a.m. tomorrow. I missed it this morning.
Already done.
What else?
Grocery shopping. The list has been sent to your phone.
Perfect. Anything else?
All done. Just get ready for your date.
All right, cool.
Welcome to the future of banking. Alat. Simple, reliable, and convenient. A smarter way to bank.
Welcome back. With 21 companies appreciating in share price in the week under review, and that is week ended 17th of September 2021, what you will find is a situation that on the NASD, which is a smaller market, we had 3 companies going down in terms of share price and only 2 appreciating out of the 44 companies listed on that exchange. But leading the pack in the week, dropping price happens to be in the reverse order, happens to be Akon Petroleum. Akon Petroleum dropped 2 kobo to shed almost 12% in terms of market capitalization. While for Food Concept, it did drop 5 kobo to also shed almost 6.3% in the week under review. NGX went down by 3 naira, 36 kobo to drop almost 20.8% in terms of, but we can confirm to you that at the end of market today, the company did go up and it closed at 100. Sorry, there's a mix up there. WAMCO did go up by 95 kobo to go up by almost 0.8% and to then close at 125 naira at the end of trading today. For NGX, it did close at 13 naira 48 kobo at the end of trading today, while for NASD that added 2 naira 4 kobo to its share price, picking up almost 40% at the end of trading today, did close at 8 naira 62 kobo. Furthermore, Double One, formerly Mobile, dropped 5 naira to close at 215 naira at the end of market today, while Niger Delta added 15 naira to its share price to close at 270 naira. But in the week under review, that recorded, interestingly, NGX, NASD, Food Concept, Akon Petroleum, and Air Liquide dominating in terms of volume traded. NGX was joined by NASD and then WAMCO displaying Food Concept to the 4th position, and CSCS displacing Air Liquide in the 5th position to make up the numbers in terms of value traded. In a week that had the index go down by 0.27%, and in terms of yield to date, the market starting at 0.80%. But if you then look at the big market, talking about the NGX, which is the old Nigerian Stock Exchange, like we told you, we have 21 companies appreciating in share price. And interestingly, this is the lowest in terms of size in the last 22 weeks. Notwithstanding the fact that 2 companies also traded, gaining over 10% in terms of market capitalization. But MTN led the pack, going up by 2 naira 50 kobo, ahead of GT Holdco that added 95 kobo to its share price. And GT Holdco, ironically, was also coming from a 95 kobo gain on the last trading of the week. The previous week, it was down by 80 kobo to finish 4th. But at the end of trading today, it did shed 20 kobo to close at 27 naira 10 kobo. United Capital went up by 90 kobo and picked up 11.25% in the week. Again, partly as a result of the 55 kobo that it gained on the last trading day of the week. The previous week, the company was up by 66 kobo when it finished as the 2nd best performing company. For Northern Nigerian Flour Mills, there was also a surprise rally of 70 kobo ahead of Vitafoam 45 kobo. Vitafoam, interestingly, did dip by 20 kobo on the last trading day of the week. Had that not happened, Vitafoam will have also added 65 kobo in terms of appreciation. But the previous week, the Vitafoam was also up by 45 kobo. So for the second consecutive week, it's picking up 45 kobo and closing position number 5. At the end of trading today, he added another 35 kobo to his share price, closing at 17 naira 85 kobo. Honeywell, like Stanbic, went up by 20 kobo. Honeywell added 9 kobo on the last trading day of the week compared to Stanbic 10 kobo. But at the end of trading today, we can confirm to you that Stanbic added 1 naira to his share price to close at 39 naira. Why for Stanbic, he was also coming in from a 95 kobo drop that I posted the previous week. Similarly, UPDC, that was coming up from an 18 kobo drop the previous week that placed it 9th, picked up 11.3% appreciation in the week, courtesy of the 19 kobo that I gained, which itself is 1 kobo better than another surprise. Morrison keeps coming in with surprises, notwithstanding the fact that Morrison full year, first quarter and half year basically closed negative. But NACO added 15 kobo to his share price ahead of 11 other companies. But let's mention that in the week under review, we also had a situation where 2 companies were adjusted for their interim dividend. Access Bank was marked down by 30 kobo. Zenith Bank was marked down by 30 kobo. But for today's trading, ironically, and like we told you, went down by 0.08% to take the yield to date as a negative of 3.5%. We had 16 companies appreciating in share price, and MRS basically led the pack, adding 1 naira 35 kobo to the share price to close at 15 naira 20 kobo. On the downside, we earlier told you that we had 38 companies dropping in price, and interestingly, this itself is the worst performance in 17 weeks. But we had a situation where 2 companies, just like we had on the upside, are going down by over 10% in the week under review. Seplas dropped almost 50 kobo, 50 naira in the week, having dipped by 49 naira 70 kobo, ahead of Okomo that finished a distant second with a 6 naira drop, having dropped all of that on the last trading day of the week. Guinness dropped by 1 naira, 10 kobo worse than Lafarge that went down by 90 kobo. Ironically, Lafarge dropped 50 kobo of that on the last trading day of the week. But at the end of trading today, Lafarge added 30 kobo to his share price to close at 22 naira 30 kobo, while Eternal Oil, that also went down by 68 kobo in the week, added 15 kobo to his share price at end of trading today to close at 6 naira 67 kobo. Transcorp Hotel dropped 10%, having dropped 50 kobo in his share price. The previous week, he also did drop 17 kobo to finish 10th. Dangote Sugar, 40 kobo down, 5 kobo worse than UAC. UAC ironically picked up 5 UAC that went down by 35 kobo in the week, ironically picked up 20 kobo on the last trading day of the week. But that was not sufficient to move it north. 15 kobo was what he also dropped the previous week. Square has hit the sub 1 naira level, but that is after the trading yesterday. But for the week, I did go down by 24 kobo to shed 18.5%, having dropped 14 kobo the previous week, while African Prudential, that was up by 15 kobo the previous week, finishing 7th, despite gaining 5 kobo on the last trading day of the week, did close 20 kobo in red. End of trading today, we can also confirm to you that 13 companies dropped in share price. But the reason, the 2 companies that basically helped to push the index down at the end of trading today happens to be Zenith Bank, dipped 55 kobo to close at 22 naira 95 kobo, and Flour Mills that also dropped 10 kobo to close at 29 naira. Don't also forget that earlier we had told you that GT Holdco also did drop by 20 kobo. So those 3 companies basically helped to redirect the markets to go south at the end of the market today. But let's then look at how the performances of the individual companies helped to push the volume and value that were traded in the week under review. Talking about the big ticket, you'll find, interestingly, for the first time in almost 8 weeks, the market traded across board less than 100 million shares. And what that also means is that the pressure is still on as far as the market is concerned. But what you then will find is that the first 8 companies on the chart, you're basically in the financial services subsector, either in the banking subsector or in the insurance subsector, and then also dominating in terms of the volume traded. And then flipping the chart to look at it as it concerns the big value, what you will find in terms of big value is also similar. Nestle in this instance came from the blues because Nestle not picking up his slot on the top 12 in terms of volume, using his big size in terms of share price, picked up the top slot with a 2.24 billion in terms of transaction. Don't also forget that we had all of that in a week that traded only 10.8 billion naira. So that itself is massive. But Nestle will not be allowed to stand alone because MTN came a distant second with 1.63 billion also being traded, and then leaving the likes of Zenith Bank, Access Bank to occupy the third and fourth position. And then lower down, you also have the banking subsector surfacing, or banking stock surfacing in GT Holdco, Stanbic IBTC, and FBN Holding. 31 companies traded over 20 million naira in the week, and like I mentioned, 9 of the 31 companies happen to be in the banking subsector. Again, talking about pressure as far as the market is concerned. It's also on that note that we take another break. When we return after the break, we'll be looking at what the fourth quarter is likely to look like for a number of companies other than the insurance, other than the companies in the insurance subsector. Please stay tuned.
We cover mobility, education, family, travel, home, business, lifestyle. Custodian, exceeding expectations.
Honey!
Daddy, please, can I go out with you and Mommy tonight?
Sure thing, sweetie. Get your shoes and we go.
Promise?
You have my word.
Daddy!
You know I wouldn't leave without you, my princess.
There's nothing more important than a promise. We are Fidelity. We keep our word.
For every uncertainty that life presents on a daily basis, there is only one cover you can be sure of: the Sovereign Trust Insurance PLC cover. We have all it takes to give you the assurance that life can be perfect, even in the midst of uncertainty. Come under our cover today and put life's uncertainty behind you. Sovereign Trust Insurance PLC. We've got you covered.
There is a reason.
For 3 decades, people world over have improved their health and well-being by its rich ingredients. a unique blend of essential amino acids, multivitamins, and minerals specially formulated to combat stress and fatigue. The golden promise of Astamine is being enjoyed by more and more people who have found the deepest secret of living life at its peak. Astamine. Get healthier.
You're welcome back. And if you're just joining us, the program is Stock and Shares. Like we told you in the introduction, last week we looked at 14 companies in the insurance subsector. And this evening we have decided to do part 2. I'll basically looking at non-insurance company based. And the reason for this, again, anybody who is investing in the capital market is buying tomorrow's performance today. So if you have the opportunity of looking at what tomorrow is likely to be, that itself helps you to understand your risk better. Because if the company is not likely to perform and then the share price is going up, then you must also begin to ask questions. What is going on? So looking at the companies on parade this evening, we'll be starting with Studio Press. And that will come on your screen any moment from now. Studio Press has consistently declared that it's not likely to make profit. Because in 2020, Studio Press forecast was a loss of 165. And it's also hoping that that will continue in 2021. And that also means that the earnings for Studio Press will be standing at a negative of almost 4 kobo at the end of December 2021. For Abbey Building, 2020 negative 654 million. But it's hoping that in 2021, COVID or no COVID, that the situation is going to be different, and it's projecting to do a 132 million. And that also means that the earnings are small, but it will be looking positive. Infinity is hoping to do a 160.3 million in terms of profit, and that itself will mean that the earnings will standing at almost 4 kobo. And one thing about Infinity is it has a way of eating up its dividends by 0.5 kobo every year. So let's look forward to what we'll be doing in 2021 come April 2022. eTranzact from 267 million forecast in 2020. The company is hoping to do its 260.3 million in 2021. And that will then mean that in terms of earnings, the earnings will be standing at 6.2 kobo, which itself is lower than 6.9 that Initiate is hoping to bring on the table. Should it achieve the 61.2 million profit after tax forecast. But you must also be remembered that Initiate is one of the large number of companies that is already on the queue, hoping to raise additional capital. From all indication, that may not be for 2021. The capital raising may come in 2022. But for Transnationwide, that also had a capital raising 2 years ago, is hoping to move its profitability from less than 13 million in 2020 forecast to 46.5 million by 2021. And that also means that the earnings will be standing at almost 10 kobo. But you must also remember that the company wasn't in a position to give dividend in 2020 and in 2019. For Sterling Bank, earnings of 10.4 should be one that should attract some dividend in 2021. In 2022, for 2021 results, that the company is also hoping will be 3 billion post-tax. Cordville in 2020 did provide a dividend of 2 kobo. And in that year, the forecast was almost 42 million profit after tax. But for 2022, it's not certain what dividends will come, but the company is hoping to achieve a 52.5 million profit after tax for 2021. And that will also mean that the earnings will be standing at almost 15 kobo. FCMB expected earnings for 2021 will be 43 kobo. Should it hit the 8.5 billion in terms of profit after tax, while Eternal Oil is hoping to do almost 45 kobo in terms of earning, should it be able to hit the 582 million profit after tax. It must be noted that in 2020, the forecast for Eternal Oil was 244, while for Kumu, it's hoping to hit an earnings of almost 108 kobo from a profit of a little over 1 billion. This itself is lower than the 3.9 billion that Total is hoping to achieve, and that will also mean that Total will be looking at an earnings in excess of 11 naira, and that itself is also meaning that the company that did a 1.6 billion forecast in 2020 should also be able to almost double the performance in 2021, and then the dividend would then be one that we're not certain what level they will pick. But for investors who have also followed Total very many times, Total is one of the few companies other than the banking subsector, in the non-banking subsector, that will literally want to pay out everything at the end. It's also on that note that we'll then take another break. When we come back after the break, we'll be looking at the two banks on parade talking about corporate results. Please stay tuned.
As you adjust to the new realities for operating your business and engaging with your customers, let us help you transform your business into a digital powerhouse capable of adapting and taking advantage of today's opportunities. With our best-in-class array of digital solutions, you can conduct your business, receive payments from your customers, and perform transactions quickly, safely, and conveniently, because we've got you covered with the right people, technology, and service offerings. Contact us today and let us take your business to its zenith. Zenith Bank, in your best interest.
I'm the Executive Director of Technical ICO Insurance PLC. ICO has been in existence for 55 years and we have track record. In this market, we are known by a lot of multinationals. In terms of claim settlement, in the industry, they know us for that. Settle claims within 24 hours, within 48 hours, because we have the financial muscle and we have the technical skill, capability to do it. In terms of branch network, we have presence in so many states. We also give them best of services. So that's what we stand for as ICO. We are always there anytime there's a claim from our clients. We've been supporting various businesses for a long time and we'll continue to do that.
Welcome back. And if you just join us, the program is Stock and Shares. Looking at the two companies on parade, we'll be starting with Access Bank PLC. And for Access Bank, the almost 921,000 shareholders will have also noticed the situation where the top line for Access Bank for 12 months ended June 2020 versus June 2021 moved up from less than 740 billion to 819 billion, and profit after tax moving from 90.8 billion to almost 132 billion. In terms of earnings moved from 255 kobo to 371, and dividend final and interim 65 kobo in 2020 to 85 kobo in 2021. No bonus in both years, and the waiting period basically flat at approximately 2.5 years. But let's mention that for the company, what you will find that the company in the last 52 weeks has done a high of 10 naira 50 kobo and a low of 6 naira 25 kobo. However, the company in 2006 was trading at 6 naira, did close at 6 naira 31st of December 2006, closed at 6 naira 96 kobo, then climbing to 23 naira, though the low in that year happens to be the 6 naira 96 that it closed in 2006. But by 2007, it did close at 7 naira 7 kobo. But ironically, in that year, it did achieve a high of 25 naira 50 kobo. But by 2009, it had dropped to 7 naira, it had climbed to 7 naira 60 kobo, and then climbing further in 2010 to 9 naira 50 kobo. Well, by 2011, it was down for 4 naira 80 kobo and took 3 straight years drop, because by 3 straight years climb rather, because by 2012 it was 9 naira 5 kobo, moving to 9 naira 60 kobo by 2013, before dropping to 6 naira 60 kobo by 2014, and by 2015 it was 4 naira 85 kobo, and then climbing to 5 naira 87 kobo by 2016, then hitting 10 naira 45 kobo by 2017, and by 2018 it was back to the 6 naira region, doing the 6 naira 80 kobo, before climbing to 10 naira by 2019, 8 naira 45 kobo by 2020, and at the end of trading today, having dropped 10 kobo, it closed at 8 naira 90 kobo. For the second company on parade, which happens to be Ecobank Transnational Incorporated PLC, ETI for short. ETI for 2020 versus 2021, 12 months as well. The top line climbed from 229 billion in terms of gross income to from 829 billion to 892 billion. However, in terms of profits, our profit moved from 88.5 billion 12 months ended June 2020 to almost 48 billion by 2021. And that basically explains why the earnings of 488 kobo approximately for 2020 is now sitting at 263 kobo by 2021. Interestingly, no dividend, no bonus. However, the waiting time in terms of PE almost doubled from 1 year by 2020 performance to almost 2 years by 2021 performance. Interestingly, for the company, in 2009, it did trade at $11 US, and I know that quite a number of persons will be wondering. I agree the par value basically remained the same. But by 2019, the share price was 10 naira 50 kobo, and then climbing to 11 naira 29 kobo by 2012, 16 naira 20 kobo by 2013, climbing further to 18 naira 58 kobo by 2014, and then taking 2 years down, going down in 2 years after, because in 2015 the closing price was 16 naira 80 kobo, and then hitting 10 naira 28 kobo by 2016. Then he resumed the climb in 2017, closing at 17 naira, but by 2018 it was back down to 14 naira, then dropping further to 6 naira 50 kobo by 2019, and by 2020 it did close at 6 naira, and by 2021, at the end of trading today, having gained 15 kobo, the opening price for tomorrow will be 5 naira 25 kobo. That is the story of the two banks that pride themselves in being a major player in other countries in Africa. We take another break, and when we come back, we'll be sharing with you the company of the week. Please stay tuned.
Ever wondered how easy it would be if your bank was part of your life? Sort of like an assistant, a buddy, and a plug.
Alert, you there?
Always alert, sir.
I see what you did there. Am I up to date? What was that?
Your repayment has just been done. By the way, I found a cheaper ticket for your flight.
Awesome. Schedule my run for 7:19 a.m. tomorrow. I missed it this morning.
Already done.
What else?
Grocery shopping. The list has been sent to your phone.
Perfect. Anything else?
All done. Just get ready for your date.
All right, cool.
Welcome to the future of banking. Alert. Simple, reliable, and convenient. A smarter way to bank.
In today's fast-paced, high-stakes, make-or-break world, you need every edge you can get to help your business succeed. That is why we've designed the new and improved Sterling Pro. We've made it even more flexible to adapt to your enterprise, no matter the size. And we've also upgraded the security to make your business transactions more secure. And now more than ever, you can now get even more done with one premium solution. Get the extra edge to succeed in today's competitive world with a solution that's built for your business. Visit sterling.ng/pro and let's get your business ahead.
Welcome back. And if you just join us, the program is Talk and Shares. Let's share with you the company of the week. Again, for the benefit of our first-time viewers, the company of the week basically comes around with the reason why it's also the company of the week. And for the company of the week, we can confirm to you that NASD happens to be the company of the week back to back, because last week we thought he had done enough, but this week he had even done much more than enough, and that is what has ended the company of the week. But let's confirm to you why it is the company of the week. In the week under review, the company went up by 2 naira 4 kobo, and that ended a 40% appreciation in 1 week. If you also remember, the previous week it was up by 1 naira 60 kobo, appreciating by 47.7%. So in aggregate, in 2 weeks, the company has done close to 90% appreciation. Don't also forget, from all indication, the performance happens to be the 4th best, that is the current week, and the previous week when he also finished at the company of the week was the third best in terms of performance in 2021. But this is the first time, like I said, in 2021 that the company is finishing back to back as the company of the week. But if you think that they have done, that is all they can do, we can also confirm to you that at the end of trading today, the company rallied to a 77 kobo gain to close at 8 naira 62 kobo. And I'm sure that quite a number of investors wish that this is how all the other companies will go in the share price. So for the company of the week, once again, NASD PLC turned out to the company of the week. And it's also on that note that we want to especially thank you for being part of this program this evening. Like we said, we've been on air for 15 years, but I'm sure you want us to be on air for much more. And one of the ways you can do that is also take away our takeaway, even after we've said good night, because something else will be available even after we said good night. So take away the takeaway, or if you like, that is the sweet after you've taken the main dish. See you next week, and God bless.
There is a reason Africa is called the new frontier. What was once potential is now an opportunity ready to be seized. Once revered for our resources, today's wealth lies in our people. People who build the cities that shape the future. People who know an idea in one place means business in another. A generation for whom technology means there are no borders, no boundaries. We are the new lions in a brave new world, kings of the urban jungle. And there's a bank that puts the world in our pocket and the future in our hands. UBA, Africa's global bank.
Pali promo. Just save 10,000 naira or more monthly and stand a chance to win up to 5 million naira and other exciting prizes. Download the Union mobile app to open an account or visit the nearest Union Bank branch. Union Bank, your simpler, smarter bank.